Yes, Blizzard just teased what they would like to do for a 6th class in Diablo 4. It's a very vague tease, but it's definitely headed in the right direction. I honestly think a lot of you guys are going to love this. Also, how many expansions is Diablo 4 actually getting post-launch? Well, thanks to a recent interview with Blizzard, we have a very good idea on what to expect from expansions at the bare minimum. And mentioning teases, by the way, what in the world was Rod Ferguson teasing yesterday? Well, it's been fully revealed, and it's definitely not what you think. I'm glad I told you guys to check your hype levels on that one. Plus, they did say to anticipate problems with this feature when it is finally launched in the game. Looks like some things will have to be fine-tuned as they are launched throughout seasons and the like. And this news about PvP might actually upset some of you. I'm curious your take on this one, so we'll dive into that as well. But yeah, gotta talk about the elephant in the room, the lack of a secret cow level. No one has mentioned it. You know, there's been tons of reviewers, critics that have already played through the entire game. No discovery about a secret cow level. Well, the community came up with a solution, a secret chicken level. Hey, it only makes sense considering that Blizzard is working with KFC on, promotions and things. So yeah, make it happen, Blizzard. Make it happen. All right, so we got to talk about what's going on officially. So let's go to Twitter. Yes, Rod Ferguson was busy, of course, tweeting out and teasing stuff. You guys may remember this. I told you I would keep an eye on it, but I also warned you, make sure you keep your hype levels in check. Well, what this turned out to be was this right here, a music video featuring some talent from the music industry. They're going all in on marketing, trying to basically get more eyeballs on Diablo 4, especially those that don't even know what Diablo is. That's what this is about. Marketing 101. Let me tell you what, they are spending a pretty penny on marketing this game. I guess it's like half the battle. All right, so next up, we have, of course, that official interview. Check it out right here, Rod's XCast interview. And that is coming from, of course, Kinda Funny Games, as you can see right here. Rod Ferguson with them. And they did actually talk about some very interesting things, of course. Let's break it down, shall we? Also, a very special thank you to Aryan Historian for posting that out on Reddit with a complete breakdown. But let's go ahead and go over it right now. So, yes, first and foremost, goes on to say this. They talk about critic scores, 88 Metacritic score of 89 out of 90 open critic. Now, Rod is very happy about that. And they say live service allows for more content in seasons compared to Diablo 3, deeper, richer, and more content over the previous Diablo. That is exciting. But guess what? At minimum, it seems like we are getting 2 big expansions that are already in the works. They are really trying to keep the flow of content going throughout the life of this game, which gets me excited because already you can clearly tell the game is very beefy at launch. They have a complete in-game in the vanilla version of the game itself. But yeah, let's keep going. I was on to say this. Reiterates their ability to respond to games requests within hours and days. An example of that was the Necro hotfix for the Skellies. This, for me personally, gets me excited because if they run into any huge exploits, they can immediately fine-tune things. Of course, again, the worry here is they fine-tune things too often to where you don't even know what you're doing with your build. I think they're going to have to be a little bit cautious about that, but I also think they know that as well. All right, furthermore, it says this, talks sustainability in development and the importance of correct team structure that allows for sustainable development cycles and building things in parallel. Doesn't want to burn out the team and then churn out a mediocre product. So we've heard rumors that the team before this, like years ago, was very burned out. I'm hoping that these companies really tap into, a way to really listen to their developers. CD Projekt Red had this problem. They've done a lot of fine tuning to really try to help out because these are talented people. It's tough to find this type of talent to craft this type of game. It's pretty rare. All right, so let's go on and talk about this one right here. It says, talks Blizzard deadlines and how Diablo is approaching Blizzard's normal timelines. That's how they came up with the quarterly seasons. Talks about how they tried to make seasons long enough for casuals to complete the battle pass. So they're trying to cater to 2 audiences here. A hardcore audience, of course, but they're like, we also know that people that are going to be playing our game are probably working at school, studying, what have you, and are busy with their lives. How do we appease to both? So I think personally, they're doing a great job at that. Seems like they're in an interesting middle ground here. And not gonna lie, this next one does have me a little bit worried. Goes on to say this, expect hiccups with the cosmetic shop as it launches. It wasn't in a state ready to be used in the beta or server slam. So that's interesting. We'll see what actually happens with this shop. I know already a lot of the prices on the shop are just crazy, ridiculous. Like $25 for one skin, for one Necromancer skin was like an example. But I'm kind of curious here. I'm not going to say anything until we actually see it. I have so much stuff to say though. But let's keep going, shall we? So, next up we have this right here. PvP is a murder fest. You don't have to play PvP if you don't like it. There is PvE in the PvP zones, but you can always get ganked. You can get cosmetic achievements through the PvP zones, but again, 100% optional. Now, that might ruffle some feathers, of course, simply because a lot of you guys, I know for a fact, want to be able to have all the cosmetic items, and if you're wanting to do PvE only, and there's like unique, specific cosmetic items to the PvP zone, oh boy, I don't know. I feel like that might ruffle some feathers for sure, especially if these cosmetic items end up being absolutely amazing and crazy looking. Then you're going to be like, why do I have to play PvP? I don't want to have to play PvP to get these cosmetic items. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a concern as well. We'll see how that pans out, but it seems like, of course, there is going to be a wide variety of options on how to get different cosmetics. Just like, let's see if the PvP zones have the absolute best looking cosmetic items or not. Next up, we have Runewords is something they think is interesting, but it's so deep they haven't figured out how to put it in the game yet. When they say this sort of thing, it makes me think that that sort of feature would most likely come with a season as an experiment, just to see how it might work out. And if people hate it, they won't include it in the game in the long term. And if people love it, they would probably bring it back. Or they might want to throw it into one of the expansions, because it sounds like a very big undertaking to include something like that. They don't want to mess up the flow of what they've currently built. Next up, we have this one, class he would like to see in the future. Refused to answer, LOL, likes the 5 classes currently and would love to create a class Diablo has never seen before. I love it. So it sounds like that's the direction they're heading in when it comes to new classes. I hope that's the case for the 6th class. We'll have to wait and see, but it would be really cool to see something extremely fresh, new. You know, I've seen your comments from my previous videos, and overall you guys would love a brand new fresh class, because yes, nostalgia is great, of course. Would love to see some stuff like the Paladin return. That's one thing that, man, that'd be cool. As well as the Monk. I personally really like the Monk. I know some of you guys are like, oh, I hate the Monk. But yeah, it would be cool if they did something completely unknown. Surprise us. That's what I really want from the next class. All right, so we got to talk about some invaluable tips that were posted by Wowhead. You guys have got to check these out before you actually play. Let's get into those right now, shall we? So, check it out. Let's talk about the campaign and open world progression. It says, well, we're all excited about the campaign and storyline of Diablo 4. The real meat of the game is the end game. Absorbing the story while making your way through the campaign quickly is key. Now, it says many systems such as mounts, renown, altars of Lilith are count-wide unlocks, making them key systems to interact with for anyone looking to play alts. That's extremely important to remember right there. Yeah, but then it goes on to say this, make sure your party's campaign progress is in sync. If you don't receive quest rewards for quests you've never done, you're out of sync. Having the party leader be the player with the least progression in the campaign can fix this, the more you know. Now, sellers and events are actually worth your time. They have a high chance of dropping rare loot, obols, gems, and quite a bit of experience. Remember, they adjusted the sellers big time for the server slam, and they were definitely worth going into. So don't miss out on actually heading into sellers, because they've actually kind of included some dungeon type events in there as well. So yeah, check them out. Next up, we have this one right here. Entering a new region, by the way, change the location of your town portal. You can quickly make it to the zone's major town this way before waypoints are unlocked. So that's really cool. So of course, we only got to explore the Fractured Peaks location and have that center town portal, of course. So each region is going to have that same kind of system. So once you cross the border, it's going to switch over to teleporting you to that town center within that specific region. All right, so furthermore, it says this. Claim your renown rewards. Don't forget to do this. It's easy to forget for some reason. Doing almost anything in a zone earns renown, and this earns you skill and Paragon points, crucial to the leveling process. So yes, I don't think some people realize that renown can actually get you more Paragon points. So the more you know, really pay attention to your renown. There's many ways you can actually earn renown. One of the biggest ways, of course, is clearing strongholds, going into dungeons, as well as clearing cellars, and mainly doing side activity. In fact, what I would do is if you enter a new town and you see a bunch of blue exclamation points, those are your side quests that you could tackle, accept every single one of them before going on your main quest line, because you're going to accidentally be running into those side quests as you explore. I highly recommend doing that, just going grabbing every single quest before exploring, going to a new dungeon or what have you. It's definitely worth it. You'll be earning renown everywhere accidentally. I have to highlight this tip. It is so important. It's so simple. It's in your options menu. Turn on advanced tooltip information and advanced tooltip compare. This is going to help you a lot understand if your aspect that you actually have right now is at its minimum value or its maximum, and you could really find out how good your aspects actually are. That is super important. So whatever you do, I highly recommend turning that on no matter what. All right, so yes, I did a recent video called this one right here. Here it is, the day 1 update, new patch changes for Necromancer, Druid, and much more. Check out the video if you want to find out what is changing with the day 1 patch, which, by the way, if you preloaded the game already, you've already downloaded the day 1 patch, but there are some really noteworthy changes in that video, so check it out. But let's see what you guys had to say about it. Let's get into it. So Couch Guy Yin says this: hopeful when the Necro summons Golem, he also has the Ring of Power with him. I would love this. I would love to name my Golem also Smeagol. Make it happen. See what Blizzard can do for us. And Philip says this right here: happy to see some more news. I'm going in semi-blind to my build since I played a bit during the beta and Server Slam. I have somewhat of an idea what I think might work. It seems like a bunch of you are also going to be doing this. It's fine if you want to read up on build guides and kind of like build guides, and kind of figure out what you want to do as you go through the skill tree. That's fine. But I think a lot of us just want to like explore ourselves, explore the open world ourselves, explore the skill tree ourselves, figure it out. There's something exciting about that, seeing stuff for the first time, like the Paragon board, and getting into it yourself. And yes, some of us might make mistakes, but that's what it's kind of about, learning from the whole process. I'm excited. I'm hyped for it. So let's keep going. Vincent says this: when I play, I would like to focus on playing the game and the story. During the beta, I had to stop and read all the skills, all the gear, etc. I used build planning as a way to familiarize myself with all the things and give me a rough outline of the path I'm probably going to take, so I could spend less time reading mechanics and more time playing the game. So there is a different side of the coin. That actually makes a lot of sense when you say it in that way, where you can actually be more knowledgeable before you even head into the game. So you can sit back, relax, and actually enjoy and embrace the story, enjoy the world. Dude, that makes a lot of sense as well. I love that take. So that's definitely an interesting take for sure. But let me know which side of the fence you're on, if you're going in semi-blind, if you're going in completely blind to this one, or if you have your build already fully planned out. All right, so there it is, the latest happenings around Diablo 4. Stay tuned for more updates. It is mere hours away from the launch of the game. I'm so hyped. So yes, I cannot wait. Have everything prepared over here. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.